What is DynamoDB? Hi guys, I'm Johnny Chivers. Welcome to my YouTube channel and this introductory beginner's guide to DynamoDB. I'm a professional data engineer with over 10 years experience, working Monday to Friday in the financial services sector. I'm 5 times AWS certified and I like nothing more in my free time than making videos for my YouTube channel. What is DynamoDB? DynamoDB is the NoSQL, fully serverless offering from AWS that helps us manage our data at scale. It's highly available, fully scalable, and we don't have to provision any of the underlying infrastructure. But why use DynamoDB? Well, we've already alluded to it. It's fully serverless in the fact that we don't have to provision any of the underlying infrastructure. AWS handle this for us. Our data is replicated across 3 AZs, meaning that we have failover and redundancy automatically built in. It's NoSQL, so it's perfect when you don't need a relational schema. It means that it can handle all the data that you fire at it. Use case wise, I use it personally for things like user profiles or real-time streaming data. It's ideal for web-based applications. As usual, the best way to get to know an AWS service is by actually using it. So join me in the console where we'll handle some of the basics and get ourselves up and running.
So that's me logged into the AWS console. And next thing we're going to do is go to Dynamo itself. So just type in Dynamo in the top search bar and we'll go to DynamoDB. Once on DynamoDB, you can click Create Table here, or if it looks slightly different, on the left hand side you can go to Tables. Once on Tables, click Create Table. Now you need to give your table a name. So I'm just going to call this Test Table 1. So you need to give it a partition key, and this is the primary key of the table. It must be unique and have high cardinality, which means it must be unique all the time. So I'm just going to do it on ID because I'm making up my schema. We'll leave it as string. We'll use the default provisions because there's no point changing them, and we'll click create. A few seconds later, you have your table. That's the table created. Took about 30 seconds in total there. So next thing we want to do is add some what we call items, or you want to think them as rows, to the table. We go to items, we go create item, and the first string we're going to say ID is 1. Then that's add, append, string. We'll call this one name, and we'll keep it all smalls actually. We'll put in John. We'll go add, append. This time what we'll do instead is go number. And we'll type in age, and we'll say 40, and then we'll accept that, and we'll save, and you can see then that we have an item in our table. So let's add another item. So create ID, this time will be 2. We'll add, append, string, name, Jane. We'll add, append, number, age, 35. Save. Now I have 2 rows in my table. Now because this is a NoSQL table, there's no schema apart from ID, which means every row we add must have an ID, but it can have any other column we want on. And just to prove that, if I go create item, this time ID 3, then we'll add append, we'll go string, we'll call this last name this time, and we'll add dough. Let's save. And you can see then that this time we get a new column called last name, and dough goes into it. So that's the benefit of a NoSQL table. Now one of the other things we can do is add a filter. So if we say ID, which we'll keep this nice and simple, which is a string, equals 2, and we start that search, it brings up 2. ID string equals 1, start that search, we get our 1. ID string 3 equals start that search, we get a 3. Now there's a lot more to DynamoDB, but this is just the introductory lesson. The next thing you probably really want to learn is how do I get all these answers back through code. So I'll put a link up now on the right hand side of the screen. This is using Python to go and get and put items from a DynamoDB table that's already created on this channel. Go check that out. It's a really good next starting place where you can start to interact with this table through code. So with that being said, that's everything for today. I've been Johnny Chivers. I'll put all this information for free on my website as usual, www.johnnychivers.co.uk. And until next time, guys, thanks for watching.